Good evening, Olympians. Welcome to episode 2 of Project Hyperion, Shiva's Island. It's fantastic to have you with us tonight. Very excited for what the evening holds. I've already promised our players that I won't be crashing their plane this evening. And then they reminded me that I already crashed their plane and they don't have any others. So perhaps it's not a promise that's worth very much. Nevertheless, I think they're all excited to be here. Let's drop in and see how they're doing. Let's start to my left, Don. How's it going tonight?
It is going fantastic. Thank you for having me back. I loved our first episode last week. I'm playing Arturo Luciano. He's a kind young man, twin brother to Claudia, and they are ex-circus people. He was a juggler and a knife thrower and something of an acrobat. And that's Arturo. Why he's with these folks, we'll find out. But I'm really excited. I didn't know we were going to start with a plane crash last week, but I said it then and I'll say it again. It reminded me a little bit of Lost, and that in my book is a good thing because I love plane crashes and islands. So.
Well, you are obviously in the right place, my friend. Welcome. Lauren, how are you, and how is Professor Winifred Sharp this evening?
Oh, hi, Allison. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. I love being on an island. I love the outdoors so much. I am Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger over on Twitter, and I am playing Winifred Sharp, or Fred, archaeology professor. Totally not sticky-fingered, nothing strange about her at all. She did not steal 2 parachutes last week.
Borrowed? Borrowed. Uh-huh. Greg, how's it going tonight?
I'm doing great as I furiously work around with some tech stuff, but I can't wait I've been thinking about this all week. My son has begun when we started Project Athena, my son made Lego figures of all of us. He is diligently at work on this incarnation of Olympians. He's waiting to be able to uncover one particular element that he wants for the twins before he will reveal them to the Twitter sphere. But I am playing Mr. Fantastic, Michael Clevenger. He works for the Signal Corps. He has just crashed on a plane. He's not happy, and boy, oh boy, at least he can trust the twins. Back to you.
That felt like sarcasm. Did that feel like sarcasm to you? It felt like sarcasm to me.
Go with that.
Gonna do that. Roger. Steve. How are you tonight, Steve? And how is Derby Haynes doing out on Shiva's Island?
Well, John Derby Haynes doing just fine, ma'am. He's looking forward to having a good time. I'm Sergeant John Derby Haynes of these United States Marine Corps, and I am on an island with some people he just met, and he is a fun-loving, friendly from the Bluegrass State. Hobbies are horseshoes and hand grenades, and I'm ready to go, ma'am.
So glad to have you back, Steve. Lindy, last but certainly not least, how are you and how is Claudia?
Well, I'm doing super spiffy. Claudia, she's excited. She's never been to an island before. They just toured, Italy and the mainland United States. So, new place, new experiences. She's excited. She's feeling a little stiff after the plane crash, though, so she's gonna need to stretch out here soon. But, aside from that, she's doing pretty good. She's really optimistic, despite the bumpy beginning to this mission. She's really optimistic for how it's gonna go, and it's excited to have new team members.
Fantastic. I can imagine she is feeling just a little bit stiff. It was quite a crash.
It was.
In fact, of our players, how many of you took damage from the plane crash last time? Yeah, there was a little bit of that spread around. Fascinating. Well, thank you so much. It's great to have all of you. Legion, it is always great to have you. Thanks so much for making us a part of your Sunday. Take a look down below our our window here, you'll see some of the various ways that you can interact with our story, that you can be a part of shaping our world and shaping the adventure for these new Olympians. We've already had our first couple of lucky strikes come in. That will probably come in handy. Probably not. I'm sure it's going to be fine. And to that end, let's remind ourselves very quickly just exactly what happened last week on Project Hyperion. Our story from Project Athena fast-forwarded 9 years. We found ourselves in the middle of a world at war. America had just been attacked at Pearl Harbor, and the war machine was waking up and turning its eye not toward the Far East, but toward Europe. Nevertheless, there were some strange things afoot in the Far East that required the assembling of a new group. And so these individuals, some of them military, some of them civilians, some of them who've lived generations in the United States, others who were brand new to American soil, found themselves on their way, converging on a point on the north coast of Australia. From there, they all boarded a flying boat, a large seaplane, a civilian airliner pressed into military service, piloted by Royal Air Force military crew that they had barely gotten to know before, as the sun rose on March 16th, 1941, Japanese Zeros, 42, thanks, Japanese Zeros struck out of the east, with the sun at their backs, and shot their plane out of the sky. They were thrown about. They thought they were going to have to parachute out, hence the borrowed parachutes. And then they managed to crash land. They found themselves on a beach, the air crew all but dead. The last words of the pilot: take the radio transmitter, climb to the radio tower at the top of the island, connect it, call for rescue. Oh, and by the way, Japanese airstrip under construction. They began to make their way through the jungle when they were set upon, where they encountered 4 men from the nearby village, one of whom identified himself as Mansour Ali Alvi, the leader of the village. He spoke Oxford English, an older man, gray hair, carrying a rifle that appeared to be even older than he was. And as our episode came to an end, these new companions, not yet Olympians, had made a decision to trust him, or at least to follow him back to his village. That's where we begin our story tonight. Olympians, over to you.
Have we begun walking with Mansour yet, or are we still in our standoff?
As we ended our story last week, the standoff was coming to an end, or at least it appeared to be, from your humble keeper's perspective, and you were preparing to follow him.
Yeah, we just slid down some trees and stuff. At least the twins.
And kind of wipes sweat from his brow and comes up close to Claudia, his sister, and he leans in. Claudia, do you think that they are safe?
Well, they seem very nice. I think if they were unsafe, they would be shooting at us.
Yes, but what if they want to take us into the prison?
Well, then we just have to improvise. Make sure we have our bags.
All right, I have mine. Do you want me to carry yours?
Oh, no, I've got it. Just, you hurt yourself a little bit when we crashed, so...
I will be okay. Thank you.
Okay. So they'll just go over to stand next to Mr. Fantastic, I guess. You ready to follow?
Sounds good.
Fred's going to, because she was wearing kind of a tailored jacket, is going to take that off and tie it around her waist as they prepare to keep trekking through this wonderful landscape that she's so happy to be a part of. Just shrug at everybody.
You got any food over there in the village? I'm starving.
Of course we do, chap. You'd be more than welcome to share our food.
Well, that'd be right kind of you.
Mansoor, that's your name, right?
Yes.
So the gentleman who went up to the radio tower and came back down, is he in your village?
No, the Japanese don't come to the village unless it's time for the work shift to begin.
Right.
How many Japanese they got? You said engineers?
They appear to have it as a small unit of Imperial Navy engineers. I believe no more than perhaps 25, although after the incident with Shiva, more like 20, I would say.
So did they tell you what happened with Shiva?
Oh, no, they didn't have to. We've unfortunately, we've had our own encounter with Shiva, but we've learned as long as we stay off of the peak, that Shiva does not interfere with our comings and goings.
What was your encounter like?
Well, exactly what you would imagine an encounter with the Lord Shiva to be like, although I suppose that coming from the West, you would not imagine such a thing, would you?
I wouldn't spend my free time doing it, no.
Let's just say that Shiva walked down out of the mountain, stumbled through the village. Several were hurt, although we tried to stay out of his way. A couple of the huts were severely damaged, and some of our food stores, but by and large, we stayed out of Shiva's way, and all was well. The Japanese, however, did not fare quite so well.
Just for my own curiosity, could you physically describe Shiva?
Well, are you not familiar with the Hindu pantheon?
Not at all.
I am,
What?
but I'd just like to hear the words that you would use.
Well, in this case, what it would have looked like to your Western eyes, I suppose, is more of a large statue, perhaps a bit taller than a human, but clearly a statue of Shiva himself. And well, quite well armed, of course. I dare say that perhaps I don't know that there was a small temple at the top of the island that has a great deal of statuary, but in this case, I myself believe that perhaps Shiva chose to inhabit one of the statues and to make himself known to us. He's no friend of the Japanese.
What kind of water are you people drinking around here? What is a statue? This don't make no sense.
I don't know if it's really here nor there. We do have to get up to the radio tower, if you don't mind. And you said the best way was along the path?
Yes, certainly. That if you attempt to cut your own trail through the jungle, well, you see how successful you've been at that. And
pretty successful.
Once you make it up a bit further, you'll find the going a bit rougher. It gets quite steep, as you can see, and you'll likely find you're not alone in this jungle. Shiva notwithstanding, there are other creatures that live here. You would be invading their territory. Never wise, my dear, never wise.
Great, so the path it is, and she looks around at her companions.
As soon as possible, if possible.
Are we going to the village or are we going up into the path?
I
To the
believe
top. The very
right.
We
I believe we have to take the path through the village if we don't want to go through the jungle.
oh,
Yes, we should go.
excuse me, Mr. Ali. Is the water here safe?
The water that comes down off of the mountain is safe by and large. It's what we drink.
What of the ocean? Are there sharks in the waters?
Yes.
Yes, there's certainly. Were you planning on going for a swim?
Oh, I thought that maybe if there was time, I might.
Well, the beach is fairly safe and shallow, as you saw with your aircraft. Perhaps, my friend, I would not advise. I'm sorry. I find this all very confusing.
No,
We are disoriented from plane crash. It is very confusing all around.
Yes, I'm sure that's it. But we must be making our way back.
Okay.
Monsieur Ali, is it possible that we could get a couple of your friends and villagers to escort us to the radio tower? Perhaps if we were with accepted and trusted locals, it would be a bit better for us when we take our ascent.
Well, first of all, my friend, it's Mansour. It's an Indian name. Monsieur, that's French. I'm happy to speak in French if that would be more convenient for you.
Up to you.
It seems that for your friend's sake, perhaps English would be better. I suppose that some of our older men might be willing to accompany you, but only halfway up, I would say. When you see what Shiva has done to our village, you would understand. They will not be willing to go any closer to his domain than that.
Well, does the Lord Shiva appreciate any type of gift or sacrifice, something that we could bring as a peace offering, perhaps to maybe something that the Japanese forgot?
Not that I know of. Although we've been setting up our votaries every day, as we always have, but Shiva crashed through those when he came to our village, just like he did the huts and the nets. So they didn't appear to be particularly pleasing.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like the village is any safer, so looks like the tower's where to go.
Great, let's take in the sights.
Yes.
If I see a statue come off the hill, I'm taking a swim in the ocean myself, because this all is just crazy to me.
You would fare better in the ocean, I believe, my friend. Come, let's go. And he begins to lead the way back down the trail that you've cut. The three men that have accompanied him are ahead of him on the trail, and he's staying back. Can you tell me what your order is as you make this trek back?
Fred is probably near the front, just because she wanted to ask Mr. Clevenger something before dropping back to second position.
To Arturo.
Yeah, Arturo stays close to Claudia, and he's pulled his backpack around off his shoulder, and he's kind of actually like holding it to his chest as he moves around. He looks very anxious. But he would, I guess they would be maybe in the back.
Yeah.
Derby will be in the rear.
Okay.
So they're like right in
Right
front
in
of
the middle.
Derby.
Yeah.
Very good.
Claudia's got her carpet bag. Just kind of hugging it in front too. Just walking along.
And so, Mr. Fantastic, you're taking the lead for our group at least.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. You begin to make your way out. You'll notice as you continue that the first two of the men that Mansoor has brought with him are moving a bit more quickly. They're headed toward the edge of the jungle. And as they arrive at the edge, you notice one of them turns around and looks back to you, to your group, and goes, at which point Mansoor says, "My friends, down, down."
I will definitely do what he does.
Yeah, I'll follow the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
He's knelt down behind cover. After a few moments, one of the two men makes his way back and speaks in a whisper. I'll take listen rolls if any of you are interested in trying to hear what's whispered here.
Is it in English?
Well, you'll have to hear it first.
Oh, okay, because I can read lips. So if I could try to read lips. If not.
You'd be welcome to take that roll as well if you'd like.
Okay. I don't listen. Let me see if I get my lip reading in.
You do have those 5 extra points of luck, Lindy.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Where is read lips on the sheet?
It's a custom one.
Oh, well then I missed one when I transferred from the PDF. It's fine. I think it's like.
Don't worry. I got it.
Okay.
I'll surely share.
I'll spend the luck and get the listen check. That way, if it's not in English. Yeah.
Okay, good. So Arturo, Claudia, and Mr. Fantastic, you're barely able to hear what sounds like it's not a language that any of you speak unless you're familiar with obscure Indian dialects. However, one word is repeated 3 times between the two of them, and that is the word Japanese. Mansoor rotates back toward you. It appears as though your arrival has generated some attention. There's a squad of Japanese, at least in my village. My men have seen the car from here. I'm afraid that when they see that I am not present, they will come looking for me. At this point, I'm not sure what is best. They have probably already seen the aircraft.
Well, sure, you should always make an entrance with a bang.
Question for the keeper. Is it an obvious American aircraft, or is it kind of just generic?
It's a British
It is not. In fact, it's a British passenger liner that's been pressed into military service.
Okay. So they wouldn't see that and immediately be like, "Oh."
Right. It has the British International Airlines livery painted on it.
Okay.
Well, what if we stayed here and you went back and you led them around to the crash site?
Where's that?
Like in a big loop?
Where's the pilot's body? Go put him out and we can hide.
They will have to come past where we are to arrive at the crash site.
Well, we could hop back in the jungle.
We could set a trap.
What were you thinking?
Well, Derby here says he makes things explode. We
Now we're
could
talking.
rig the plane as soon as it's entered to explode.
Oh,
We'd have to hoof it.
Yeah.
we don't need to huff it, dear. I can just explode that. I can blow that damn thing up to the sky. Believe me, it'll come up and then whoop, it'll come right back down like it did before.
So you're saying we can crash a plane twice in 2 episodes?
We most certainly can.
Okay, sure. You're just carrying explosives on you, or are you going to use something from the plane? I just want to know for my personal safety, and really all of our safeties.
Well, I do have my bag of TNT right here, always on me, but the blast caps are separate. They're in a separate bag, so you don't have to worry about that. Everything is never together, so we don't have nothing to fear.
Fred nervously tucks her hair behind her ear, the one that's torn, and then puts it back down.
He's getting visibly excited. He's like, "Yeah, I like this. I mean, this is right. Now we're talking. We're joining the war here, buddy." He kind of slaps Fantastic on the back.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, do all of us need to do that? And
I
be close to it?
Know how to make things go boom.
Nope, I just need one person to help me with the timer and all that. That's it.
Oh. Hmm.
I might volunteer. Not myself. That's not what I was saying.
No,
I was
about to
looking
say-
at Michael.
Anybody will do.
Sure. I'll do it.
Yeah.
We
I
should get, the rest of us should get away from the explosion so they're not nearby.
Mhm.
I believe that it's possible. Some of you may be able to, make a break for it. If you stick close to the jungle, move toward the village, the trail that leads to the peak of the island is about halfway between here and there. You'll know when you hit it because it's where the stream comes down off of the peak.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that is the way we should go.
And then Michael and Darby can rendezvous with us.
How many other over there in your village? Did they tell you? Because I'm gonna kill them all.
Well, hold on one second. I just wanted to see how comfortable everybody was with murder. Apparently, very comfortable.
We got one.
Not so much.
No, that's why we do not want to be here.
Well, then my other suggestion was just to make the plane explode, drawing them over, and then
Now
we sneak around.
Yes, that's what I was
like
saying.
big distraction.
Yeah.
I like this plan better.
So
thought
by
that was
way
the
of
plan.
your
Duly noted.
by way of situational awareness,
Derby's face goes like this. What?
you have, if you'll recall, you're on the north side of this Cassiabar Island. The north side is shaped like a U, with the points of it at the kind of pointing north. You have the plane is crashed to the west. The village is very close to the peak to the point on the far east, and the trail that Mansour has pointed out to you runs. It sounds as though it kind of splits the middle, right? Kind of right at the bottom of the U, and heads upward toward to the south toward the peaks of the island. So blowing up the plane will clearly draw some attention. But it has the potential to draw the Japanese, I suppose, I won't say anymore. If you feel as though you've got a good grip on the geography here.
Yeah, no.
Can I ask a quick question, Allison?
Mhm.
If I blow this thing up, I want to put it near the fuel tank, of course. I want to use the least amount of TNT blocks because I have 8. We agreed upon this. I have 8 blocks of TNT. I would like to use 1 or 2 if I could. I want to save some explosions for something else later in the island adventure here, if possible.
Okay. And tell you what, Stephen, why don't you make a demolitions roll for me, and I'll tell you what you feel like you know about how best to accomplish your goal here. So you believe that all it will take is one of those blocks of TNT to create an explosion that will, for the most part, even if there's just a little fuel left in the tanks, that will completely destroy the wreckage of the plane.
Copy that.
I mean, I suppose we could just sneak or something. If we hugged the jungle, wouldn't we hit the path eventually?
I would think so.
Yes, I think we could be quiet about it.
You two are awful sneaky, right? That's what quiet. You were up in a tree, and he indicates Arturo. That was pretty sneaky. And I like yes. Okay. Why don't you all lead the sneaky and get us snuck? That seems like it's you're sneakier than me, and that's
Damn, Mike, why are you riding so hard?
No, it is good. Yes, we can do this.
Sneaky and go.
It's a compliment, Dobby.
I'm just going to. Yes, let's go.
Did you see him climb up in the tree? I didn't either. I didn't ask them to blow shit up.
I'm very good at climbing.
True. You got a point. You got a point. I didn't see him up that tree either.
Where'd he go?
And I got a bird's eye view.
Wait, no. Where did he go?
See?
I have great eyesight, and I do not see him right now.
Sneakity.
Arturo pops out of the underbrush, and he's like, "Oh, are we going? Are we still talking about it?"
No,
I'm going down here and blow this thing up. You guys go ahead. I'll catch up.
Okay.
This way.
Okay, team, and break.
Oh.
I'll stay here with you, Fred.
Okay, good. I'm not sneaky either.
I'm not sneaky. I'm good at climbing, not sneaky.
I'm pretty sneaky.
How are we doing this?
Arturo, before you go, I have your book.
My book?
From the plane.
Oh.
The Velveteen Rabbit, was that? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And he'll come over. He comes back out of the underbrush and holds out his hand for the Velveteen Rabbit. Mm-hmm. I thought I lost this.
Oh, no. I got it for you, darling. Just hold on to the things that are yours. All right?
Yes, thank you. And he will flip open the book, thumb through it real quick as though he's looking for something specific. And then after a moment, take a deep breath and close it and slide it into his pants pocket and say, "All right, Claudia, I am ready to go if you are ready."
I am ready to go whenever you are.
Fred, thank you very much. I mean it.
Of course.
And slips back off into the underbrush.
Well, one of them's sneaky.
Now we know which one.
All right. So Arturo and
onto the plane.
It's almost like I'm figuring out what all their stats are.
Arturo and Claudia then are making their way. Where exactly?
In the direction of the path.
Yeah. So in Arturo, well, because he is, he spends a lot of time in the outdoors and climbing through underbrush, and he would probably lead the way, and he would move through the edge of the jungle, through the tree line, trying to stay low where it's thick, pop up every once in a while to keep an eye out for the path, the village, and any sort of ulterior route around the village proper. But also, if we see Japanese, then he would stop immediately.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Claudia, because Arturo is leading the way and setting the example for you, I'll let you make this roll with advantage if you'd like.
Okay.
Take another.
Sure. Hey!
Look at that.
So sneaky. Look at me go.
As you both, one more roll, please. Let's spot hidden from both of you, please.
Okay, yeah. I'd definitely be keeping an eye out.
Could I listen instead? Could I keep an ear out?
Yeah, sure.
I think Claudia would probably try to be in the trees a bit more than on the ground because she feels more comfortable at the height. Sneaking.
Very well. So you, as you approach the edge of the jungle where it meets the sand of the beach, you're very anxious about being seen. And so not really focusing on gathering any information about what might be going on in the jungle on the far side, or in the village on the far side of the bay, you make your way slowly, cautiously toward around the edge of the beach. And just as Mansoor promised, you find a stream. And on the side of that stream that is nearest to you, you see a trail. It's a very narrow trail that breaks south and begins to climb up to the height of the peak of the island. And you're able to. Are you waiting there?
Arturo would definitely, once they get to the stream, I mean, his white shirt is soaked through. It's clinging to his skin. He's a big guy, tall and broad-shouldered, and he would definitely kneel by the stream and take some water and splash it on his face and try to cool down a little bit.
Yeah, Claudia will pour some over like the back of his neck. Like, cool down. You're fine.
Should we keep it going or should we wait here?
Well, I think the rest we're going to follow. So maybe we should find a nice niche and wait.
Yes.
Maybe just a little up path, so that way if the Japanese come, they do not see us.
Maybe just on the other side of the stream here. We go up. He would try to find a place to cross then, and if they could climb up a couple of trees and kind of perch.
Claudia's gonna do a little stretching in the tree because she feels real stiff after that adventure. Oh.
You must stay loose, Claudia. Must stay very good.
I feel better already.
I cannot do it.
Well, you are not the contortionist. So.
I don't know.
I feel like maybe we just need to end the episode right there. That was glorious. Absolutely glorious. Let's cut back to the rest of our group. Still, as you see the twins making their way east along the edge of the jungle, Mansoor and his men still very quiet. So now, what is your plan, chap?
You're going to go back to the village, and Darby's going to go blow up the plane while Michael and I wait.
Preferably with Japanese in it. But
the distraction, the sneaky people. Yeah, the sneaky people went ahead. We're not so sneaky. We wait for the explosion. The explosion causes a distraction. The non-sneaky people sneak by.
I'm pretty sneaky.
Well,
you're also the only one that blows stuff up.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna go blow this thing. I'm gonna go blow this thing higher than a kite. There you go.
Right. That is the idea. Then they won't think there's anybody left to go looking for.
With any chance, they'll think it blew up because of the crash, the spill, a spark, something of that nature. Less a trap, more a, my God, look what just happened.
Fair enough. God willing, I'm going to get down here and do this thing. So I guess that's my duty right now. You guys go hide. I don't know what you're going to do, but... And he heads for the plane.
We are returning to the village, if I understand correctly. Is that right? He looks to you, Mike.
Okay. Your absence is going to be noticed. You return. You have
It
investigated.
already has been, I'm sure.
Right.
You investigated the crash. You found some dead bodies. You return back to your village. Boom! Explosion. My God, what's happened? Everyone rushes down to see what they can see. We sneak by. The village is then cleared, hopefully, or the enemy is greatly reduced. We have the sneaky twins going up front. Fred and I will go up the rear with Derby. That's the plan. I'm
Which
a corporal.
is what I just said a minute ago, Mansoor. It was exactly that.
Yes, very well. Of course, I'm sure. I'm sure it was. Well, I think I understand. This then perhaps may be a farewell.
Cheerio.
Cheerio. Yes, I wish you the best of luck and Shiva's blessing. And he says a few words to his men. They stand and quickly move out onto the beach and begin walking east along the beach trail toward the village.
Okay.
Go for
Bobby?
it, Derby.
I am going to once do I think that anybody can see me going to the airplane? Do I need to make a stealth roll, Allie?
Well, you do know that the men were able to detect the presence of Japanese from the edge of the jungle where you're standing. So you have good reason to suspect that you might be able to be seen.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go as fast as I can, as stealthy as I can, and I guess I'll roll a stealth roll, I suppose.
Okay.
Oh, hard success.
Very nice. You're able to make it very quickly to the plane, and in fact to the far side of the nose where it's beached up into the sand. So there's the whole aircraft is now between you and the village.
Okay. I'm gonna look for I'm assuming that I can smell where the fuel tanks are. Probably there, and maybe I could smell the fuel itself, where all the tanks are in the plane itself. I don't have Cato Callahan here, but I think I can make a decision on that just by where gasoline is coming out of the plane.
Yeah, you don't need a roll at all. You were able, in fact, when you climbed out, you could see that the far wing this is the wing on the side that you're on now, had been shot straight through, and that fuel was leaking out of that into the water. So most of the fuel storage seems to be in the wings.
He's gonna head straight there, and he is going to he's actually gonna pull out some duct tape with the TNT this time, and put the timer, set the blast cap, and then just staple it literally almost like underneath the armpit of the wing itself. So it will blow out, and it'll be a grand explosion for everybody to see. It won't go up. It'll probably go that way if it does anything.
Okay. How about a demolition roll to see the skill of that set?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a regular success.
I'll spend 6 luck just to make it a hard success. How's that?
Okay, that's great. Good. So how long did you set the timer for?
I'm going to set the timer. So that was my question. He's heading back to intercept them, correct? So I'm going to make it stagger a little bit to seem like not right when he gets there. I want to give it 6 to 7 minutes. So it looks like they're talking and then it explodes. Not when he just gets there and explodes, because that could be suspicious. So he's going to let them get to the village. He's going to give them 6 to 7 to 8 minutes, and then it's going to blow as they're potentially talking, and he's trying to convince them that nothing's going on. Then he blows it. Not right away. Not a quick.
Okay. Adding that 6 or 7 minutes, you think that would be somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes from right now?
Yes, that'll be fine.
Okay. And then what are you doing?
I'm going to go back around the other way and attempt to get back to the group so we can, I can find the sneak people as Mike has said.
Okay, so are you heading back to Mike and Fred, or are you heading over?
I'm heading for Mr. Fantastic and Fred.
Okay, let's have that stealth roll back then, please.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Good rolls.
Thank you.
All right, so the three of you are back together now.
I set that thing for about 7 to 8 minutes, so we got time to get out of here, and that will look plausible that if it explodes, then we can on out of here, and then it'll go. So that's good, right?
Yes, that definitely sounds like what an explosion sounds like. Should we wait till they pass us?
I think we need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, as soon as they seem interested in that, then we...
Great.
And then we that way.
Right. And we'll keep our eyes out for roving statues. Mr. Clevenger, you seemed less skeptical than the rest of us about that.
No, I was just quieter.
And more polite, although that's not very hard.
These people are crazy. They're seeing statues and other things. They've been out here way too long.
I'm sure if we conveyed to certain peoples that we or others of our society believe in somebody that died and then came back 3 days later after rolling open a rock, it'd be skeptical as well.
I don't know what to say to that, Mike. You're a smart guy, though.
Let's wait.
All right.
So what are you good at, Fred? As it cuts away.
As we cut away and back
Is
to...
that a real leg?
Yeah, that's really her leg.
Yep. I'm just ridiculously flexible, Steve. Just...
Okay. As we cut back to the twins, who are in hiding, what would you like to do? Anything?
I guess we would have, Arturo would have been listening out for any sounds of approaching feet or voices.
Okay. You can make a roll for that. Claudia, anything?
Stretching. She's got to loosen up after that plane crash. Was a lot. Maybe they should keep an eye out too. You can look around and stretch.
Damn, she's flexible.
On 13 luck is not much. I mean, it's a lot, but
I'm not considering anymore.
Do I see anything while I'm stretching in my tree?
Damn it. Nice. Yes, you're able to see the village quite clearly from your perch in the tree.
Yeah.
You're about halfway between the crash site and where the others are, just a bit away from there in the jungle, and the village. You can also see now Mansour and the men that were with him making their way back. They're moving at a fairly brisk pace.
Mm-hmm.
And as they approach where the stream breaks down through the sand, you see Mansour remove the rifle from over his shoulder and tuck it into some rocks, kind of down below the level of the beach. And then they continue to make their way toward the village.
Okay.
Claudia.
Yes.
I am not so sure that if we run into the bad men, that I will be able to hurt them. I know that they are wrong and we are right, but I do not know if I have it in me to do this.
It is a lot. I hope that we don't have to hurt people in this mission. I'm hoping I can talk them out of it if we do encounter them, like talk them down, but that only would happen if they speak Italian or recognize Italian or English. So.
I will let you do the talking. You are you're the smartest girl I know.
You're the sweetest brother I have.
I hope the others get here soon.
I hope so.
Better with them here.
Walk by. Mansoor left his rifle behind those rocks. I don't know if he's planning on coming back for it later or if he's leaving it for someone. I don't know.
That is maybe he did not want them to see that he had it.
Probably. There.
At this point, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we're up on a tree.
Yeah, we're up in like two trees, talking in hushed Italian.
Are there like jungle fruits hanging from the trees? Can I assume that there's like, I don't know, coconuts?
Low-hanging fruit.
How about, why don't you make a luck roll?
Okay. It's not my best stat.
Hey! Good enough for some fruit.
There are, as a matter of fact, you are in a papaya tree.
He would grab 3 and he would move out over the branches if he had to, grab 3 papayas. And he would tuck 2 into his lap. And then the third one, he would try to figure out how to open it. But he doesn't know anything about papaya or how one goes about eating papaya. So I think this would be like a Rubik's Cube to him for a little while.
Let me try one.
Oh, yes.
He hands it over.
So they're going to try to figure out papaya in these trees.
At that moment, a loud explosion rocks the entire side of the island. Those of you that are watching the plane, the 3 of you who are closest to it, see it. At one point, there's a bright flash of light. The wing on the side where the explosion was, where the explosives were planted, cartwheels off through the surf to the west. The rest of the plane flips over twice in the air before coming down to land upside down in the sand.
That dog will hunt.
Fred looks nauseated as she watches this.
And that the entire hulk of it is now burning, sending thick black smoke up into the sky.
Derby would turn around and both of them like, yeah, like he was like applause.
Fred pulls her glasses down.
Oh damn, that wasn't spectacular. I thought
it was nice. It was very good.
Thank you. I thought that was spectacular.
But just for future reference, though, that's good.
Derby's hurt that Fred doesn't like it. He's like, oh, damn, he didn't like that, Fred?
She lowers them a little and looks at him over them and then puts them back up. Should we get ready to move?
Derby pumps the shotgun. And we'll see what they do.
Spot hiddens all around, please.
Okay. I have advantage.
All around?
All around.
Okay.
2.
Nope, not this
I
time.
came up a failure.
Regular success on the first.
I'll take 3 luck for a hard
papaya.
success. Mr. Fantastic always spots hard.
Did I hear you say that you would take the luck?
I'm going to use 3 luck to make it a hard spot hard.
Very good. Michael, you, as you look back toward the village, there's a long silence. It's hard to describe the silence after a loud explosion, especially when you've been close to it, like you have. But after a few moments, you're able to see some movement. And what you see appears to be a group of men. And they're making their way back toward that open-topped car that you saw. It looks a little bit like a Jeep, as you understand them, sort of. You see men moving back toward it, climbing in it, and you can hear it. You can hear the engine fire up, and it begins making its way west along the trail that runs on the beach toward where you are.
Right. So we're going to hop back in the jungle while they pass.
Now, it has the benefit of the noise of the vehicle as well. So when they come by, they see the fire, we skip to Malou. Hopefully. If not, we're going to fight.
Oh, that's fine too.
Yes. That's fine too. But I like your plan, Mike.
Thanks, Derby.
It doesn't take very long, no more than 3 or 4 minutes, and without rolls, very soon after they begin moving. Claudia, Arturo, you're able to see the vehicle coming by your position as well. It passes you along that rocky road or trail that runs along the beach and begins to make its way back towards your friends. Could I have stealth rolls from the 3 of you hiding there at the edge of the jungle?
With lots of stuff covering what we're doing. God damn it. Okay. Well, sorry, guys.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Beautiful.
As the Jeep rolls by.
You're more hidden than a tick in the dog.
As the Jeep rolls by, you are able to see what looks like a Japanese, a non-commissioned officer, maybe a sergeant, and 5 soldiers in the back. They pull within about 75 feet or so of where the wreckage of the plane has landed, and they get out and they begin walking down the beach, but they're walking to the west, so they're walking away from where you are and further away from where you want to go right now.
Brilliantly executed all around, I'd say.
God damn, that worked.
Of course it did.
Yes.
Let's go.
I'd like to put some buckshot in him, though. Boy, I'd like to shoot. Like, Derby's like itching to get out there. He's like,
I am getting concerned about you, but I like your enthusiasm.
Yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about shooting them, that's for sure.
That's so specific. Yeah, she's gonna start walking to rendezvous with Claudia and Arturo.
All right. You'll be. Are you just moving right out onto that road? Or are you trying to stick to the edge of the jungle?
Yeah, we're not like easing on down the road, but.
Are you trying to be stealthy? Is my question.
I mean, kinda, but like we're in the same place that we were, so those stealth rolls probably still count.
But you're moving from that place to a new place. Yes. So if you would like to try to do that without being observed, why don't we roll stealth one more time, please?
Okay.
Hard success again. Boy, I'm doing well in the stealth rolls today.
Greg, you go. You see if I'm gonna feel bad or yep, I'm gonna feel bad. Here we go.
Does 2 wrongs make a right?
No, I'm afraid that it doesn't.
I will spend 5 luck to make that an extreme if I can help her be quiet.
Oh, I like your thinking. I would have liked it better had you offered to help before she failed the roll. That said, if you'd like to spend 10 luck
Sure.
to help her be quiet.
Sure.
10 luck it is. And so the three of you move very quietly, very stealthily toward the trail. And you see exactly what your friends saw. And the trail, just as Mansoor described it, leads to the south, a very narrow trail up through the jungle.
Are we
Claudia,
all
You're papayas cracked open yet?
You have in
Yes.
fact.
Excellent. We're eating.
And they're delicious. Please make a Constitution check for poison. No, I'm just kidding. All the fruit on the Shiva's poisoned island. So you're able to see them as you've been looking for them. They turn into, I assume you're turning up that trail to get off of the beach.
Yeah. When they
And
get close enough up the trail, Claudia's just gonna hook her, scoot down the tree limb a little bit so her legs are hanging over, and then just drop backwards like she's hanging upside down for the tree limb with her papaya. Oh, good, you made it.
Wow. Yeah.
Can I get one of them papayas? Papayas?
Arturo swings down one arm and drops and lands in the grass, and he's got scooped under his left arm 2 more papayas.
Yes, I have extra. Here you are.
Thank you, Arturo. You're a real
very
nice
good.
guy.
Hey, they taste great. I saw the boom. Did it work?
You heard very loud.
Oh yeah, it worked all right.
Oh, good. We should be going then. Yes.
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 Mm.
Okay.
Yep.
We start following the path.
Can I ask you all a question? What do you think about the statue? It just don't make no sense to me what they're talking about. They got to be there's got to be some sort of magical drug or something that they're down here smoking on or eating on, or they're seeing things, man.
Well, we didn't see if there was any actual damage to the village, although if something came down from the peak, I suspect we'll see evidence of it soon.
I think, Derby, that there are stories, old stories. Everyone has them, and they have their stories, and those stories mean much to them, and that is all that the statue is.
That's what I'm thinking too, because I'm from Kentucky, and right over the river in West Virginia, there's a story called the Mothman, and this guy, he comes back and all this other and it's a story, it's all wise tales. I just can't buy all that crap.
I hear many in America, they talk about the Bigfoot.
Yes, the Bigfoot. I like that story.
Bigfoot, he's there's a Bigfoot around. And
We
all
heard
that.
when we were touring in New Mexico and Texas about that chupacabra.
Chupacabra? I never heard about no chupacabra. I know about the Mothman.
I think
I do not like that
goats.
very scary story.
Very scary.
I know
Is that
about
a
King
radio
Kong.
tower?
Yep.
I know about
Yes.
King Kong.
Yes.
Listen, I work with a couple fellas that have heard a couple stories too, but some of them are true, some of them are not so much. Let's find out. Just don't rule out the fact that something big could come out of the forest or the jungle, and we won't be surprised. If it's a statue, we got
I'll be
ourselves a
surprised, all
story.
right. My pants will be surprised. I know that.
Charming.
Wait,
It is- It's now about, you would estimate, it's about 10:30 in the morning. It's starting to get hot. In fact, it's probably already close to 100 degrees on this island. And the jungle feels as though it is pressing in on you from all sides. From the very start, this trail was not wide enough that it was open to the sky. It's like you're walking down a long, dimly lit tunnel. After half a mile or so, just as Mansour said, the trail becomes quite steep, and the going is slow, especially given the heat and the humidity. But after another hour or two, you are approaching what you think is probably the edge of the jungle. The two peaks, as you might recall, are very rocky, without any trees or flora visible from where you were on the beach. So you're beginning to get very close to that. Up to this point, the trail had been following a stream, but you left the stream behind about half an hour ago, and you seem to be going right up the middle of the saddle between the two peaks.
Claudia would have, if it gets kind of steep, she'd kind of, and it's really humid and stuff, she would have reached in her bag and chalked up her hands some and offered some to everybody else, so that way you have a better grip on things if you start to slip and fall.
When they finally left the stream behind, Arturo definitely would have taken time. He would have probably taken his shirt entirely off and submerged himself as much as he could, just kind of getting him, because it's getting hotter and hotter.
Mm-hmm.
So he would take a dip for sure.
Can I perform a first aid on myself, or anybody got first aid?
Oh, yeah. Probably should.
I would be happy to look at anyone if we stop here by the stream and cool off for a little while.
I'm fine. I do not need it.
I look after some of the ones in the circus when they hurt themselves.
He's very good at it.
Oh, well, I got a couple.
I've dislocated things more times than I can count, so he's always popped it right back in.
I don't think it would hurt to pause and just check everybody out. Make sure we're all fine. We all saw that, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Arturo comes out of the stream and gets into his pack, and one at a time he would go around and do what he can to try to check people, make sure that they don't have any broken bones or that they don't have any open wounds. I guess he would first aid. We'll do Derby first.
Thank you, sir.
Hard success.
Thank you kindly.
Great.
Is anyone else I need to be checked up on?
No, I am fine. I'm a little bumped up, but I will feel tip-top tomorrow.
Claudia, I think I have, and you would see that there's actually a pretty bad gash on Arturo's side from the plane crash.
Got it. Yeah,
I got you, kid.
Right out of his range.
You will help?
Absolutely.
I'd help him too.
Here you go, kid.
Oh.
Hey, thank you, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome.
Fred has spread her jacket on the ground and is just kind of lounging on it like it's a towel.
Claudia's just wearing a blouse with
how
shorts
many
and
hit points
tights.
did I get back, by the way?
One.
And then you'll regain.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
1 per day, or however many per day.
Mm-hmm.
Arturo finally, once Mike kind of helps patch him up his cut, he'll shake out his shirt and dry it off in some leaves and then pull it back over.
Here, and she'll actually have sunk it back into the river. This way it will stay cooler, and she'll kind of just drape it around his neck while it's wet.
Thank you, Claudia. You are so smart. Thank you.
I'll pull it Dwight. Spot hidden. Allie. Is that possible, ma'am?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
There you go. Little Burt coming through out of Derby.
I invoked his name.
You've invoked the name of Dwight Burke, and for it gained a critical success. Here's what you're able to see, Derby. You are within about 100 to 150 feet of the saddle of this the valley between these two peaks. You can see where the trail, when it arrives in the middle of that saddle, appears to split off. It goes, one goes to the east, to the peak with the radio tower. The other goes to the west to the other flat peak. And at the intersection where the trail splits, you see a statue. It looks like just a statue of a human being. Its face is quite beautiful. It's hard to tell what the gender of the statue might be just by the facial expressions or the shape of the body. You also see that it is holding what appears to be a trident, and that the point of the trident points toward the peak to the east where the radio tower is.
Guys?
Can I make an occult roll here?
Yeah.
I will point out.
If you assuming that it's been pointed out, you can.
I will point out the statue too, Mike. I'll say, guy, and Derby's lip kind of quivers. There's a statue right there, guys. Statue.
Like is it moving?
The statue. It's got a trident. The three.
Well, that would be Shiva.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
Do you want? I can sneak up close to it and see if it is moving, but I do not think it looks like just a statue.
It does look like just statue.
I would not go up there, Arturo.
Do we have to pass by it to get to the radio tower?
Unless you decide to cut trail, but that will be very, very difficult in this terrain.
Mike, what do you think, buddy?
We don't have time. I'll defer to the group, but if we need to get to the radio tower and call for help, we get caught out here, the Japanese bring in troops, we get surrounded. It doesn't matter what kind of statue we find.
I would say be careful then with any firearms, as that's going to bring noise.
If that thing moves, I'm shooting that thing to the high heaven.
That's precisely what I meant.
You can tell Derby's a little nervous. He's like real superstitious. He's like, I don't want to go near that thing.
Why don't you go in the back?
Arturo's in the back right now, so when if he steps past Derby, he'll put a big, strong hand on Derby's shoulder and give him a smile and say, "Do not worry, we will sneak past it, and I'm sure it will be fine. I will go first this time."
Hey, Arturo, I like the way you're thinking right now, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It is good. It is just a statue. Do not be scared of a crazy man from village.
If Arturo's going to go first,
Claudia's right with him.
Yeah,
he was crazy. He was crazy. Boy, he was crazy.
Yeah, I'll let him go first and watch the statue keenly.
Arturo, are you attempting to do this to sneak, or are you just going to approach it?
Yeah, he's going to move through the underbrush. He'll jump up and swing and move tree to tree, using stealth as much as he can. And if Claudia is behind him, he would put up a hand and say, "It is okay. I can go on. And I will be right back."
Okay, I will be waiting right here.
Yes, thank you, Claudia.
Okay, be very careful.
Go get him, Mike. Go get him.
Is any of the area around the statues, like any of the ground, disturbed?
Based on what Derby saw, it doesn't appear to be at all. It appears to just be a statue. It stands on a pedestal that's about 2 feet tall. But no, it doesn't appear to be. The path leads right to it before it splits off to the east and to the west.
Any footprints on the ground?
For that, I think I might need... Well, no. I mean, with a crit, yes, there are definitely... You see footprints, multiple footprints in both directions.
Arturo, I rolled a stealth check to do stealthy, and he gets advantage on stealth because of his talent, Shadow. I rolled a 23 exactly both times. Just wanted to
Great. You're able to get quite close, Arturo, and by all appearances, it seems to be exactly what you said, a statue. In fact, there's some moss or lichen that is kind of encrusted parts of it. There are other parts that are pitted, perhaps from the rain, driven by wind. It seems to have been there quite some time.
He has now at this point snuck behind it, and he's quietly opened up his bag, and he reaches in and kind of fishes around, and he pulls out a ball. It's a juggling ball, and he takes it, and he's going to try to throw it up in such a way that it will bounce off of a couple of trees on the other side of the trail to see if that causes any kind of reaction.
What do you roll for this?
I could do a throw check.
Okay, I'll take the throw. If you want to bounce off of a single tree, I'll look for an extreme success. If you want to bounce off two, I'll need, or a hard success for one tree. If you want to bounce off two, I'll need an extreme.
Okay.
Call your shot. Call your shot first.
What if I want to push this roll to bounce it off one tree?
95.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Yep, sure.
I like pushing rolls.
No. Well, I know you do.
All right. So your ball bounces off of one tree, and it hits a bit of bark that was kind of shadowed, and so it ricochets off in a direction that you didn't expect. It, in fact, flies out into the jungle and away from the statue. You're not even able to really see it from where you are right now.
But no reaction from the statue, or
none whatsoever. None that you're able to detect.
Arturo would merrily push back out onto the trail right in front of the statue and wave at his friends.
Claudia will come running up.
Does anything happen as Claudia runs up?
Not unless Arturo...
She trips a wire and explodes. Jesus.
That was unexpected.
Have they passed the statue yet?
No, they're in front of the statue, about 5 feet, at the point at which the trail breaks off to the east and the west.
Great, sure. I'll move up to them.
Yeah, Clevenger will go with Fred.
Derby?
Yeah, Jesus, I remember. I'm telling you, the foster home I was in, that thing was haunted. I know it was about 10. Okay, I'm going. Derby's obviously nervous about anything supernatural.
Dobby, have you ever tried meditation as we are in the East?
As you are a demolitions expert, you need to calm down, my friend.
I can throw a baseball.
What? Why?
That's very therapeutic to me. Isn't that what meditation is? Therapeutic?
Okay.
Fred? Fred?
Look, a radio tower.
You're gathered in front of the statue now. You can see very clearly the path up to the radio tower to your east, to the left. In fact, it's only about 75 to 100 feet from where you're standing right now that the jungle or the trees completely end. And you can see a rocky path that leads up to that radio tower.
Well, this is going excellent.
Yes, not so dangerous on this island. Not as dangerous as they say.
Mm-hmm. It's probably because we are not a horrible Japanese.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I like your attitude.
Of course you do. Well, let's press on unless anybody needs in the rest. I don't, unfortunately, see another stream around here. Arturo, I'm so sorry, but if you need to stop and do anything.
I think it is good if we keep going.
Great, let's press on.
My man Arturo is all right. He's good.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So you're heading... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, looks like Arturo has secured the skittish vote.
So you're heading toward the edge of the jungle
tower.
Radio tower.
Whee! Easy peasy.
All right. How about spot hiddens around?
Yay. Hard success.
A failure.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic spot, hard.
Fred, as you get close to the edge of the trees, you looking up toward the tower. Up to this point, you've just been able to see sort of the top of it as it extends above the trees. But as you get close to the edge, you're able to see the whole thing for the first time. This tower stands about 50 feet tall, okay? And it is made of what appears to be some very sort of narrow or narrow gauge aluminum or maybe steel girders kind of crisscrossed up in a pyramid type of a shape. And there's a near the bottom of it, scattered around, you see some construction gear, other girders like this. It appears to be, well, it's a mess. There's the girders and the wood that are at the foot of it are scattered around as if they've been tossed about by the wind or something. And standing behind it from where you are, you see another statue. This is another statue. It looks very much like the one that you saw at the top of the path.
Jesus.
It is. It's facing your direction, facing kind of down toward you, but it appears to be completely still as the other one. It also has a trident.
Is it on a pedestal?
No, it's not. It seems to be standing right on the bare rock.
Like across from us in front of the tower, behind the tower?
Behind the tower. The tower is between you and it.
Was the other one standing on a pedestal or just bare rock as well?
On a pedestal.
It was on a pedestal.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And its trident was pointed to the tower, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Where's this one pointing?
Straight out.
It's holding it sort of at the ready, just sort of straight up.
Our bellies.
How far back is the other statue?
Behind you from where you've come out of the...
Was it like 150 feet?
Yeah, a little bit more than that.
Okay, and then we had a split in the path, one going up to here and one going in a different direction, correct?
Right. On the other side, it goes, it appears to go up toward that flatter, lower peak to the west.
Fantastic's going to go back and see if he can move the other statue, specifically the trident, to see if he can make it point up the other path.
Okay. Are you going back? Are you going back by yourself?
You want to come with me, Fred?
Yep. Can't go alone.
Would you like me to try to climb the radio tower and get a signal?
Everyone just stay here.
Okay.
Just wait here. Don't move.
All right. I will just do some more stretching.
Great.
Mike, can I get... You're going to do this on your own?
No, I'm going with him.
I know, but just in terms of trying to move it, can I get a strength roll, please?
Sure. I might need some help, Fred.
Oh, sure. She was just watching. Sure. I can try. Does I wait until I see him try it first, just to see if anything happens with the statue?
Nothing. Nothing happens. It behaves in exactly the way you would expect a statue to behave.
Great. That's what I expected. So I'll climb up with him, and I'll try to move it.
Not much of a climb. The pedestal is only about 2 feet off of the jungle floor, and the statue is just maybe a bit taller than you are, Mike. So you want to try it together this time?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and give it a whirl.
Okay.
Damn it. I'll use 6 luck to be strong. That sounds fun.
Okay, for a success here?
Yeah.
Do you need me to roll again?
Great. Yeah, why not? We've already spent the luck.
Yeah.
Hard success.
Nice.
So with a success and a hard success, nothing happens. It's carved this way.
Is there anything that
move.
would indicate any type of counterweight mechanism, perhaps in the stand itself, that would indicate some type of mechanism or mechanical twisty thingy?
Would you like to make some kind of a roll to detect that?
Sure. I'm absolutely. What would I do?
I'm open to suggestions.
Do you want a spot hidden to see if I can see anything, or do you want...
Sure, go for it.
Can I see anything?
No, it appears to be a statue.
Is the statue resting on the pedestal, or is it connected? Like part of it?
Oh, good question. It appears to be resting.
Yeah.
Just sort of resting on the...
Yeah. Okay.
Well, can I hand a grenade to Derby and tell him to throw it
You're
at
Derby.
the statue?
You are Derby.
Toro.
Don't.
Throw that thing at the statue.
Wait.
Tower, Stephen? It's behind the tower.
Yeah,
Maybe after we...
The grenades don't make that big of an explosion.
He's got the grenade in his hand, and like his eyes are
Throw it at that statue.
I will take the grenade from Arturo's hand.
I do not want that.
We should wait until we ready, because it'll make a loud noise and it'll attract the Japanese, and we do not want to attract the Japanese.
Derby takes. He's like, give me the grenade. I'll throw the damn thing.
No, you're not going to throw the grenade until after we do the radio signal.
I'm gonna throw it right at that statue.
Well, it's in Claudia's hands.
The radio.
I have
Radio
another
first.
one. I have numerous grenades.
So Arturo he's taken his shirt sleeve and he's like wiping his forehead. And he says,
Derby, if you do this, then the
Also,
Japanese will know we are here.
Aside from Japanese, if statues do come to life and they are standing still right now, you probably don't want to piece them off if weird statue legend is true.
Yeah,
That
it is.
statue right there. That one right there.
Well, maybe you should wait
Derby.
until it moves, and then you can try to do something about it. But
My friend, look, it is just a statue.
and he
statue.
picks up a rock and he throws it at the statue.
you're muted.
Okay.
Do you want to make a throw? The rock that you throw flies across the open space. It goes right through the girders of the radio tower and hits the statue right in the center of the chest. And it bounces off and it lands on the rocky ground and lays there.
See? It's perfectly safe, Derby.
It is okay.
It's just fine.
Can I get a listen roll from everyone, please?
Yes.
Sure.
Not okay.
Oh,
It's fine.
an
Oh my! Thank God you did.
You hear gunshots. One at first, followed rapidly by 5 or 6 more. These are, Fred, these are echoing up from the direction that you came, probably
Like
from the village.
From the village, sure. Well, I suggest we get back with the group then.
Okay. Since can we tell if it's a village or closer than village? I listen hard as well.
She got an extreme.
I'm one away from an
Everything
extreme.
is extreme.
I have to let other people
From the direction of the village. That's about the best you can tell right now.
Shall we?
Yep.
Claudia, give me that goddamn grenade back. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Are you going to throw it at the statue?
No, I won't throw it.
Okay,
Give it
well,
to me.
don't throw it at the statue. No, you should very carefully hand
He
it back.
clicks it and throws it. No, he throws it.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Would you say that again, please?
You're going to throw it right at our feet, Darby.
That's her version of, are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, he wants to do it.
You're going to throw the grenade toward the statue.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a throw roll, please. Or wait, now you're like pulling the pin, throwing the grenade. You're trying to blow that thing up.
Yeah,
Give me the roll.
Oh, he did.
I did.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't fair. I did. It was a complete failure.
We can't ever
Well-
leave them alone again, Greg.
We can't trust
That's-
Darby now.
That's 30 luck to make that a success.
All right,
I
I'll
will-
do it. Because I'll do it. Yep, I'll do it. Absolutely.
You're going to use 30 luck. Okay, good. Thank you. I think that was a wise choice.
Well, it's 30 luck or 30 luck from each of us, so.
I throw it.
The grenade arcs up through the air and lands just short of the statue and then rolls toward it. Do you have a damage roll for that?
I do. Oh, yes. It is. It is.
The statue is it's clouded in dust and smoke for just a few moments, but as it clears, what you see is the statue remains, but about half of its chest on the left side has been completely blown off. So from the neck all the way down to the waist, the left arm of it has blown off. You can't even, you don't see where there might be any, where the rubble from it was. It's just completely destroyed. And the sound of an explosion echoes out across the valley.
Can
Claudia gives
we run
you
up there?
a look.
Yep, we're running now.
You said you were not going to throw the grenade.
I threw the grenade. Let's do this. I threw it.
She's gonna grab Arturo's hand and walk away from him.
Can I get, Derby, can I get a luck roll from you, please?
Oh, you're going to do this to me right now?
Uh-huh.
Remember to calculate the 30 you spent.
Yeah, and please do take out the 30 that you spent
I
before
did
you make.
take out the 30. I'm at 23.
Oh my God. Okay. So, at this point, I'm get to offer.
Oh my God, I succeeded. Holy shit.
That was
I
your
cannot-
second roll, hon.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I failed.
You did. At this point, I get to offer the group your very first devil's bargain. Because what is about to happen with that failed luck roll is that the explosion from that grenade
It's
not
hurt.
only has mostly destroyed the statue, but is also going to topple the radio tower. But for the low price of 5 luck per party member, I will waive that effect and allow the radio tower to stand. But I need agreement from everyone. 5 luck from every player.
That's easy for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Luck.
Okay. Anyone? Any dissent? All right, please record the. Please record those. That 5 luck gone, and we'll continue from here. Back to the action.
Do we get caught
Told
up?
you not to.
Yes, you do. Mike, Fred, you both, you've caught up to the group now, just as they're having the conversation about the grenade having been indeed thrown.
Oh, you guys get up there. Claudia looks pissed.
What
He
happened?
thought that the statue was a
Living or something. So
monster.
Arturo threw rock. It did not move.
Did it?
He tried to convince Arturo to throw grenade. We said, no, do not throw grenade. Throwing grenade is very bad. And so I took grenade, and he said, no, I won't throw grenade. And then he took grenade and he threw it.
Okay, so just to wait. We walk down the road. The Japanese are coming, and the villagers that were so kind to us, we've just blown up a part of what they consider to be a religious artifact. Just, I want to make sure I have all the.
Apparently.
Great.
I blew that damn thing up. Sorry.
We should go.
We should do radio.
to rescue. Rescue now.
Do you have any more of those?
Oh yeah, I got like 3 more.
Give them to Michael.
No,
Claudia,
I'm not giving it to nobody.
Claudia, can you get up to the top? Here's the transmitter.
She'll take it and she'll start climbing.
Clevenger's gonna start looking down the trail. They had a mechanized vehicle with them. There were shots coming from down there anyway. If they're engaged in some type of firefight, maybe they didn't hear or were able to figure out exactly where that came from, but or they're all dead would be best. But he's going to see if there's anybody coming. We have a trail shot of 150, 200 feet, so if anything rounds the bend, he's going to make sure that he sees it first.
I think Arturo, if Claudia is climbing, Arturo would go with Michael, so that he could try to keep an eye out as well, or an ear out.
So have you gone back down then to the intersection of the trail to look down?
No. He's going to stay up at the tower, but
Okay.
Narratively, so we can see down to the other statue, and then kind of it curves away, right? If that's the case, he's just looking down towards where the other statue was and that intersection there. And he would, if Arturo joined him, he would say, keep an eye on your sister. I'll watch the trail. You keep your ears out. You listen down this way. I'll look down this way. But you watch your sister.
Yes.
And Claudia, you're headed up toward the tower with the transmitter. Okay.
Yep, I got the transmitter. I'm climbing up. Pop it up there.
Okay. So as you reach just maybe 10 feet below the peak where the tower rests, I need for you to make a spot hidden roll, please. And if you're going with her, Arturo, can I get one from you as well?
Yeah. What do I see?
You see that statue begin to move. Even though half of its torso and its arm have been blown away, at first it's hard for you to believe that you're seeing what you're seeing, and you have to sort of shake your head and look twice. But you see it begin to move. You see one foot step out, almost as if it were in a fighting stance, and you see the trident come up and turn toward you, and it is going
She
to.
is like taking a deep breath. Derby, you pissed it off, and now it's come to life. She blames Derby for this. Like 200.
Is she still on the ground?
She is. She's just.
Okay.
She's just about. Just
I love
below.
you, Allie. I love you.
Just below the base of the radio tower.
Fred whips her head around. Does she see it moving?
Yes, you can see it moving now as well.
Claudia, climb.
Yes,
It's moving
yes.
towards.
It doesn't need to move much. It's only, if you're 10 feet from the tower and the tower is 10 feet across its base, it's only 10 feet on the other side of that.
Okay.
Arturo will.
Can I see that damn thing move?
Yeah.
It's 10 feet away.
Arturo, go ahead.
I told you.
Arturo,
This is all your fault.
if it's moving towards Claudia, if it's moving at all, like his first instinct is Claudia's in danger, and he starts running towards both of the statue and his sister, and he's pulling open his bag and he's fishing inside.
Clevenger would see him and go get her, kid, and then he pulls his gun out and he's moving to flank around the outside of the statue. Oop, did Allie freeze?
It's frozen. It's okay. I climb up. We connected. The statue just says hello.
You're back,
Welcome
Allie.
She's back.
to
She's
the
back.
Island.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I had you covered. So welcome.
Thanks. Give me a status report, team. Where are we?
Arturo's running to join Claudia and the statue. He's getting ready to grab something out of his bag, and then Michael was going to flank. He had his gun out.
Yeah, he's flanking around the outside of both the tower, and if Arturo's going straight towards his sister to the tower, he's going to the left, around basically back towards where Fred was. So he's kind of trying to meet up with her.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Fred? Because you were away from the tower, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I am going to.
So I think we need initiative here is what we need. So we're rolling dex for this, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to use, no.
All right. Wow.
Nice dex,
Claudia,
Fred.
nice.
I'm sorry.
Claudia, you are able to, you've seen it moving and you're able to react just a split second before it is. What do you do?
Okay. Like, is it coming at me with that trident thing?
It seems to be.
Okay. Do I think I'd be able to climb? I wouldn't be able to climb. That's like a whole action, right?
Right.
Yeah, so if I can't climb, dodge.
Okay.
Yeah, if I can't
Great.
climb, then dodge. So, hard success.
Okay. It is, the statue has seen you approaching it and it's going to attack you with its trident. But it fails woefully. The damage that Derby's grenade did to it causes it to be a little bit off balance. It's only got one arm to use this trident with.
Very sweet.
And so it stabs towards you, but it doesn't, but it completely misses you. Who do we have next?
Me, I think, actually.
Looks like that's right.
Great. Cool. That's weird. What do I want to do? So Claudia has dodged with this thing. So Fred's impulse is that there would be like wiring or something inside of it, or she just doesn't believe that it could just be made of stone. Do I see anything like that? Or does it look like it's purely made of stone?
Spot hidden?
Okay.
Stone.
That's bizarre. Okay. Great. Cool. Claudia's got the radio transmitter and she is probably the best at climbing. So, I guess I'm going to try and shoot it? That seems like a thing to do. Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot it, I guess.
And what are you shooting with? Is this your Luger?
Yes.
Okay. At this distance, you can get 2 shots.
Oh, okay. Here. Yay.
Oh,
So that's-
great. So
Regular and a hard success. Whips it
How-
out from the inner thigh holster.
nice. We'll keep going. Narrate for us how you kill this awakened statue.
Oh!
Fred.
With surprise and disbelief. She sees it moving for the twins, and she'll just pop 2 through the eyes, or where she assumes the eyes are, because she's behind it.
Okay. And that's exactly what happens. You see 2 shots, both of which hit its head, and it apparently hits some kind of fissure in the stone. It just breaks apart, and as it does, the statue begins to wobble, and it falls backward and collapses down the backside of the peak. You can't see any remnant of it anymore.
Okay, I'm going to climb the radio now. And Claudia is just, after dodging out of the way, going, hey, don't worry, Arturo, everything's fine. Just kind of pat him on the cheeks, grab the transmitter. Sit down. Sit down.
He sits down on a rock.
Yeah.
Claudia, you notice that that there are a series of wires that appear to be sort of hanging down, right down the center of this very tight pyramid of this radio tower. And in fact, you probably don't even need to climb. The wires are right there on the ground in front of you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she'll just hook it up, I guess, then.
Fred is like walking toward the peak because she's still very distracted that a statue was moving. So she's gonna look over.
Mr. Fantastic, the radio is hooked up now.
Oh, no, not quite.
Oh, okay.
What skills would you like to use to connect the radio to this transmitter?
I thought I had to climb the tower, and I was going to use my climb skills. Actually connecting it.
I think this would be an electrical repair roll.
Oh. Well, I'm not good at that. So, she'd be like, I actually don't have to do any climbing. There are cables here. If anyone wants to hook up a radio.
I have mechanical roll, not electrical.
Then I could give it a shot, I guess.
Did everyone see the statue?
Yes, indeed. This is why I want to leave as quickly as possible. So let's hook up this radio, Fred, and we shall go.
You're a hell of a shot, Fred.
Clevenger's staring back down the road, looking for Japanese, but also looking at the other statue that was down there.
Spot hidden.
I guess I will just hook it up myself.
Sorry, darling.
Success.
Mm-hmm. Can I see that roll to your electrical repair roll first?
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Yeah, sure.
Come on.
Oh my gosh! That's not too far off. All right.
16 luck.
Sure. You know what?
Hero.
On this island, let's spend the 16 luck.
Hero.
Clevenger
right,
looks back and sees that and says, "Hey, you're the new electrician."
Please no.
With 16 luck, you are able to determine that these 2 wires connect to these 2 terminals, and the radio crackles to life. And in fact, it is already set to the guard frequency. You can hear voices beginning to come through the static.
Turn it up a little bit.
Yeah. Eagle 1, Raider. This is Raider 1. Raider 1, come in. Raider 1, this is Eagle 1.
What should we say?
Okay. Rescue.
All right. Okay. I will. I've got this.
Wait.
Oh yes.
Claudia.
What?
Try to sound American.
Oh, okay. Which kind of American?
Like Derby. He sounds the most American
Derby,
to me.
Yes. Okay. Kentucky. Okay. Hello. We are on Cassiabar Island. We've been stranded here. American plane crashed, leaving from Australia. Please come in. We need help. SOS.
There's a break in the there's static for a moment and then a break. Unidentified station. This is Raider 1. Say again. Say again your identity. Over.
Did we have the name of the airplane?
Can I come up with a helper?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
Are you
Okay.
gonna throw a grenade at her, Steven?
Haters gonna hate. That's fine. I'll get up there to help the party. Listen, hey, this is Sergeant Derby Haynes. I am 876-976-476. I need you to get us out of here. We have Japanese that are planning an airfield and they have taken over this island.
Yeah,
I don't remember
also
the
played
island.
Rick.
I do not remember the island, but I am here on the island.
Cassibar Island.
Cassibar Island. Thank you. Thank you, Claudia. At Cassibar Island, you need to get us out of here. They are planning an airfield. They are engineering this place. They want to do it for a takeoff, apparently on some sort of mission to intercept or destroy any of our forces. I need you here now and to get us out of here. I crash landed on a plane for some sort of project. I'm not going to say the project because that is very top secret. However, I need you to get us out of here now. Please.
And
Please.
thus the first overshare in wireless communications history.
You've got to let go of the transmit button before you can hear anything, right?
Starts talking. Just, please.
I'm about to kill more Japanese. If you do not
The reply
get out,
comes.
destroy them all.
The reply comes through. Sergeant Haynes, Roger, this is Raider 1. I understand Cassibar Island. We are about 6 minutes out, and we'll be coming in hot. Do you have any pursuit? Over.
I do. They are taking over the village. They have incarcerated the villagers here. They are treating them like slaves. They have shot hostiles. Apparently, I need them to be eliminated immediately. They are Japanese and they are coming upon us. Get them destroyed and get us out of here, please.
Roger. So I understand the only pursuit that you have is Japanese. Is that correct? Over.
They are hot on our heels.
Yes, only Japanese. Thank you. We are by radio tower.
Roger, that's good news. All right. So here's what you need to do. The peak with the radio tower is too steep. I can't sit down. You need to get across to the other peak where it's a little bit flatter. I'll be able to sit down. I am 5 minutes out. Repeat, 5 minutes out. You will recognize me in the strangest aircraft you have ever seen. This is Raider 1 out.
That is a copy. Do you have any other forces with you that can help us destroy anything coming quite?
Do you have space for 6 people?
This dog
At this point, Mr. Fantastic, with that spot hidden roll you gave me a few moments ago, you begin to see that statue that was there at the intersection of the trail turn its head toward you.
Mm-hmm.
And step down off the pedestal up the trail toward you.
You have space for 5 people.
It sounds like we have to move, everybody.
Okay.
Hold on.
So we take the transmitter with us? Okay. I will be quiet.
Clevenger doesn't look away. He just puts his hands up. Got any more of those grenades, Derby?
I have literally 3 more of them grenades, and they are going to go somewhere.
Okay.
Some point. Okay. Thank
Throw. There's another statue coming.
Wish Toro would throw a goddamn grenade. He's the perfect choice for this.
Throw your grenades.
Are the demolitions experts? You should be throwing grenades.
No, I do. I will do this.
Sure.
Stop letting your sister tell you what to do, Arturo. I'm giving you a grenade.
Somebody throw a goddamn grenade.
Throw it, Arturo. And he
grabs the grenade and
he pulls it and hands it to Arturo. Throw that goddamn thing.
He throws it down the path, trying to use the trajectory of the height to arc it so that it lands and will roll twice and blow up right at this statue's foot.
All right. You know what I need to see.
How much do I think you need to see? How difficult of a throw is this?
It's not that difficult. It's right down the path that you've come. You're above it in terms of elevation.
Do a derby.
Okay.
And so a regular success would allow you to hit it at this range.
How about a heart?
I will spend 2 luck to make it an extreme success so that I can double the damage on that grenade.
Yep. And with that, the grenade arcs. In fact, those of you that are watching, the throw is far higher than you think it should be. And for a terrifying moment, you think that he's overthrown or that this was a terrible mistake. And then it arcs back down. It bounces once on the rocky path. It bounces twice. And just as it is right in front of the chest of this second statue, it goes off. Let's see the damage roll, please.
Is that 8d6 if it's doubled?
Was that your damage before?
Yeah.
Derby?
I think it's 8d6.
I'll tell you. Yep, you got it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And that statue is clouded in smoke and dust and chips of rock for just a moment, and then it's gone.
I love you, Allison.
As the smoke clears, it appears to be gone. And the path looks clear up toward the other peak. Can I get a listen roll from everyone, please?
Sure.
It's our favorite.
Nope. Claudia's too mad.
Oh, a fumble. Yeah.
I succeed.
I blame Derby.
I
It says
do
from
too.
Arturo too.
Yeah. Derby, you hear a sound in the air. It's coming from the north, but it's unlike anything you've ever heard before. You know what it sounds like, Derby? It sounds like the sound that the old woman who cleaned in your orphan's home, when she would take the rugs out and hang them up and beat them with a bamboo rug beater. It sounds like somebody beating a rug, whop, 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 whop,
That's
whop,
bad
over and
memories.
over again.
Bad memories. Bad memories.
It's very quiet, but it's getting louder.
Okay, we have 3 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go,
Fred's
go, go,
huffing
go.
it at this point, keeping an eye out, obviously.
Claudia will take the radio transmitter though, since she knows the letters. Just take it with her in case they need it for crash somewhere else. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
What's everyone else doing?
running.
Running.
Yep.
Arturo will go off the side of the path and try to move through the tree line, like just outside of the view of the path.
Derby?
Oh, he is sprinting like no. He's a runner. There's no tomorrow.
All right. It doesn't take very long. You run down the hill to where the pedestal still sits, where the statue was a moment ago. Back up the other side. You have to scramble a bit because it gets very steep toward the top. But in really just a few moments, you're there standing, and it is a flat. It looks just like the other side of the island, but it's the top has been lopped off. It's about 75 feet around, just a flat sort of table of stone. And with that, sorry, go ahead, Greg.
I was just going to say, Allison, if it's okay, when we go past down by the area, Fantastic will produce a bag from his pocket, and he's going to pick up as much of the dust, rubble that he can from the statue and throw it into the bag and pull it tight as he needs to take some of that with him.
All right. So we'll say that you're doing that and that you're the last one who makes it up toward the top. And in fact, everyone else is already on the top. You're just kind of coming up to the maybe 10 feet below that mesa. When all of you that are standing on top, if you're looking to the north, you see, in fact, the strangest flying machine you have ever seen. It looks a little bit like a traditional aircraft, but instead of having propellers on the wings that point forward, there are engines that point vertically. And in fact, there's one on the tail as well. and massive propellers that allow this thing to sort of hover very slowly like a dragonfly or some other kind of insect through the air. It's moving towards you, and it looks as though it means to set down on this on the top of this peak.
Strange.
Have we heard any like driving of vehicles? Anybody else approaching us, or maybe going off in the opposite direction?
No, you haven't. But at this point, it's getting hard to hear much of anything other than the engines of this strange craft. You'll need to get it sort of arrives at the top. Again, this is just as Mr. Fantastic is coming up with his bag of debris. The rest of you, it's hovering over you. For it to land, you're going to need to move out to the edges of this plateau.
Yeah, no, she's not standing. She don't want to get squished.
Okay. And it begins to set down. The noise is deafening. There is wind blowing you back. I'm assuming that you're all holding on to something, because if you don't, you're going to get blown right off of the top of this peak. And you see sitting in what appears to be, it's kind of all glass in the front. There's a pilot and a co-pilot. The pilot looks out to you, motions this way, and a door opens toward the back. A ladder pops down from it.
Yep.
And there's these look like there's a soldier or an airman who appears to be in what looks like
Sergeant
an American.
Derby, we're getting out of here. Sergeant Derby, they're getting all these people out of here right now. Let's get this goddamn scooter in.
Yeah, I'll climb in.
Get them up here.
And you begin to climb up the ladder. With this, Mr. Fantastic, I need a dex roll from you, please.
Yeah.
As you're cresting the top of the table, you feel something on your calf. You turn around and see that statue that you thought you blew up, or maybe it's another one. It's hard to say. It has no head. It's only got one arm, but with that one arm, it's reached out to grab you. You're just able to pull out from its grip, scramble into the aircraft.
Wow.
The door slides shut, and it lifts off into the air. After a few moments of a very rough climb off of the peak of Cassiabar Island, you find your way to seats that are just made of sort of pipes and webbing, and you're directed to straps, seat belts and chest straps. You strap yourselves in. It's surprisingly quiet in the cockpit, or in the passenger compartment of this aircraft, and it's surprisingly smooth now that it's at altitude. And after about 20 minutes or so, one of the two pilots opens up a compartment, makes his way back, kind of bends way over, crawls back into the passenger compartment where you're all seated. He takes off a headset and allows it to sort of dangle around his neck. He is wearing the uniform of a Navy lieutenant commander, an officer in the U.S. Navy, and golden flight wings on his chest. He says, "Well, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that before. Was that a statue?"
Yes.
It's a story.
What was that, Corporal?
It's a story.
I guess it is. I asked specifically if you were being pursued by anything other than Japanese. You said no. Who was that?
Shiva.
That was the Japanese. They were upon us. We had to engage and get out.
Sergeant, I recognize your voice. Next time I'm flying in to rescue you and you're being chased by awakened statues, I want to know it. Is that clear?
That is affirmative. I will respond and deliver. Absolutely.
All right, then. Well, welcome aboard. My name's Charles Wallace. I'm going to be flying you back to camp, give you a chance to clean up a little bit, and then you need to meet the old man. And that is where we will end our episode of Project Hyperion for tonight. Let's go around and hear just a little bit from our cast about how it feels to be finally free of Shiva's Island. And Don, can we start with you again? What'd you think about all that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I loved it. It was super pulpy. Everything you want in a island pulp adventure. You knew the statues were gonna, like, it was gonna happen, but the slow dragging out of how many times we passed them, how many times they didn't move before they did finally start to move. I loved it. Yeah, I can't wait for next week. This is a 2-episode romp, and now we're gonna go on to new adventures, and I'm really excited about that. You can find me online at Donathan Fry. I do other things on the channel here and elsewhere. And I will say, check out this upcoming Wednesday night at 8 p.m. here on this channel, May Black Roses Bloom, my Dark Dragonlands 5th edition campaign with Allison and Greg and a bunch of other great folks. This is our last flashback episode. This is, I'll tell you the title because I think I'm going to post it tomorrow, but it's Chronomancer. So if you like time hijinks, there will be time hijinks.
Or as we like to call it here on Sunday nights, time fuckery. I am looking forward to that on Wednesday. My favorite Arturo moment is the moment that he finally decided that he didn't mind throwing that grenade. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it because like people were, and it was for a real thing too. Like in my left ear, I heard Steven. In my right ear, I heard Lindy. And I think that's what I probably would have done in that moment. Just like thrown it. It was great. Brilliant. Yeah, I love all the characters so much. I'm really, really liking everybody's characters. Yeah, I love it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Don. Lauren, my favorite Fred moment was the 2 shots into the head of the first statue that killed it before it had even a chance to get revenge for being blown up.
Fred moves fast.
Yes, she does. What'd you think tonight? Where can we find you?
I had a great time. I am so happy to be off this island. I'm very happy about it. I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger over on Twitter, part of the team here at Tales from the Grim, half of Salty Sweet Games. I play around the internet with my friends on the Scraticus Academy and Off the Table. And I run a Lady Blackbird campaign called Wild Blue Yonder here tomorrow night at 9 Eastern.
Wonderful. Thank you. Check out Wild Blue Yonder. So good. Hashtag complex love polynomials. Loving it.
Polyhedrals, babe.
Polyhedrals. Sorry, polynomials. That's my, yeah. That's that math degree coming back to haunt me. Let's skip over to the man behind Darby. Steve, I think we all know what our favorite Darby moment was for tonight. Yeah. I guess we know who the chaos child in this group is going to be.
Yeah. Listen, I told myself last time I was going to do things that I just truly wanted to do. I wasn't going to, I will face firing squads from people. I am that kind of person. I don't care what groups thinks. If I decide that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. And did I make a mistake? Maybe. I spent 30 luck again upon that. So I beg everybody to know I love X, Y, and Z. X, Y, Z, U, V, V, whatever the alphabet is backwards. I love everybody. Thank you. I had just an absolute blast. I love the character. I love the story, and I love you, Allison, more than anybody for just giving me some sort of for a minute,
saving your ass.
Fuck, I was so wrong. Yes, thank you, Greg. I was so wrong. I was like, oh fuck, I was so wrong. I did everything wrong. I fucked us all. But then you justified me and made me right.
No, I gave you a devil's bargain.
Yeah, I would have devil's bargained anything.
I gave you a devil's bargain. And you accepted. You all accepted. I'm sure this will not be the last devil's bargain. And
they had no choice. I love them because they had no choice. I put them in that position. I was going to throw that grenade regardless. It was me, or I wanted Dawn to do it because he is such a. I looked at his throw roll. It's better than my throw roll.
See, all I would say
off the Dawn, all episode. And I was like, well, fuck it. You know what? You throw it, Dawn. And
all right. See, this is what I get because I can't mute anybody because I'm not the. Okay, Steve. Here's all I'll say. Look, I once blew up a bookstore and regretted it for the rest of my life. Yeah, if only someone had offered me a devil's bargain that day, things might have turned out very differently. So I'm.
I prefer how they turned out.
Greg muted me. But that's fine. Let me tell you something. I love you, Allison, and to this day, now I did what I did today. I love you more because you almost killed me. I was like,
flattery will get you nowhere. Flattery will get you nowhere. Let's go over to Lindy. Lindy, what did you think tonight? Where can we find you on the interwebs?
Well, I had fun. I can tell you how Claudia's feeling, though. Oh, boy. She is Italian. She does get a little fiery from time to time, and I can tell you that she is not happy with a certain Mr. Haynes at the moment. Mostly because she doesn't feel like she can trust him, because he said, I'm not going to throw a grenade, and then immediately chucked it. She is going to bring that up with with the other two who weren't there at the moment. Like, this is dangerous. Why is he on the team? So that'll cause for some interesting drama. And then he told her to not boss her brother around. She's fine with everybody else. She's not happy with him. But you can find me being not mad really much at all. Online at LaughLoveLindy on the Twitch and Twitter, etc., where I play in /DM about a dozen or so tabletop RPGs a week. You should specifically check out, if you like Call of Cthulhu, I DM Call of Cthulhu from 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday afternoons on Encounter Roleplay, and then from 9 to 11 on my channel, Spooky Ravenloft. So you got your Spooky and your Call of Cthulhu fix, if you like. Come check that out.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Lindy. My favorite Lindy moment, or my favorite Claudia moment, was the first time that the fake leg popped up. I almost lost it. It was everything. Beautifully done. Greg, I'm going to toss it back to you to hear from you and to close this out. But before I do, what a great evening. What a great episode. Thank you all so much for taking the pulp and running with it. And we are now about to get into the real adventure here at Project Hyperion when you meet the old man next week. But until then, you can find me here on the channel on Wednesday nights. As Don said, you can find me on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y, and see all the other stuff that I got going on there. Greg, thanks for giving us a place to do this and a world to do it in. What did you think?
Oh, I had a blast. I had a blast. This is all research and research for our good friend Michael Clevenger, Mr. Fantastic, and as much information as he can obtain on his friends and the world at large is why he's here. And so I had a blast. I really, really enjoyed everything that happened tonight. I think it set the tone for the rest of the season. I'm in a weird way glad that I love hearing that Derby's going to do whatever he wants, and wherever his heart takes him. I only have Clevenger to keep safe, and of course the twins and Fred. But anyway, my name is Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, part of the Tales from the Grim team, right where you are on the Twitch. I will tell everyone that, let's see, we've got May Black Roses Bloom. We've got some Wild Blue Yonder tomorrow night. May Black Roses Bloom on Wednesday. Dungeon of the Mad Mage on Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll both see the culmination of our first 2 giveaways from our sponsor, Die Hard Dice. So you will be seeing 2 fantastic sets of dice given away both at the end of Wednesday night show and the end of Thursday night show. So if you haven't entered and you would like some fun dice, please show up then, and we will gladly give them to you. They're yours. Just show up. You got a chance. Just show up. And then I will also make mention that on Sundays at 4 o'clock, we had our first episode of Highlander today, if on a winter's night. Next week, we had Sarah McLeod, the Highlander, today. A week from today, we will have our air quote villain, Onye the Mad Eagle, played by Trendane. I can't wait to do it. It's super fun. And then I get to end my night here on Project Hyperion, or the Derby Does Whatever He Wants show. Can't wait. You have anything else for us, Allison?
Only this. Join us here next Sunday at 7 for Project Hyperion Episode 3, The Art of War. We'll see you then.
Fantastic, everybody. And as we say, as the campfire goes down, only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s, but you can always role play. Have fun and be kind.